السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وينظر الرجل من مملوكة غيره إلى ما يجوز أن ينظر إليه من ذوات محارمه، لأنها تخرج لحوائج مولاها وتخدم أي أضيافه وهي في ثياب مهنتها، فصار حالها خارج البيت في حق الأجانب كحال امرأة كحال امرأة دخله في حق محارمه الأقارب. وكان عمر رضي الله عنه إذا رأى جارية متقنعة علاها بالدرة، أي ما وقال: ألقي عنك خمارة يا دفاري، أتشبهين بالحرائر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. Mommy? A what? Do I want pencils? Can you hear me? Sorry, Mark, can you hear me? Okay, I thought I lost you. Okay, so now you're saying, with regards to, so we discussed yesterday about a person's own slave car and wife. But now what about somebody else's slave where you don't own the slave? And vice versa. A male slave is also a female slave. What is the ruling on that? Well, first discussing the female slave. وينظر الرجل من مملوكة غيره ما يجوز أن ينظر إليه من ذوات محارمه. And a man may look at the slave of somebody else, being owned by somebody else, to those parts which is permissible for him to look at of his own maharim, which we did yesterday, meaning from the chest upwards and from below the knee downwards. لأنها تخرج لحوائج مولاها. Why? Because she will come out of the house in order to fulfill the tasks and the duties of a master. وتختم أضيافه وهي في ثياب مهنتها, and she will see to his guests, host his guests, or serve his guests while she is in her work clothing. So here also you can't expect to dress up, all covered up and so forth, because that will be an imposition upon her. فصار حالها خارج البيت في حق الأجانب كحال المرأة داخله في حق المحارم. So her status inside of the house, with regards to strangers, will be like the status of a free woman. Sorry, her status outside of the house, in regards to strangers, will be like the status of a free woman inside her house, with regards to her maharim and her close ones. That's it.
Yeah.
So like how a free woman inside the house amongst the maharim and the close ones, she doesn't have to, she can leave her arms exposed and so on and so forth. The slave girl, like that outside of the house, the same thing will apply. وكان عمر رضي الله عنه, and Sayyidina Umar رضي الله عنه, whenever he saw جارية من a slave girl متقنعة, if she was covering her face and so forth, she had a parda on, علاها بدورة, he would lift up his stick, Then you just carry around like a stick. So you lift up its stick and you tell her, Alki Ankal Khimar, that remove the khimar, remove the covering from your face. يا دفارة أو يا دفار أتتشبهين بالحرائر أو um, unworthy one. Are you trying to resemble the free woman? Are you trying to copy and imitate free woman? ولا يحل النظر إلى بطنها وظهرها خلافا لما يقول محمد بن المقاتل. And it is not permissible to look at the stomach and the back, meaning everything are down from the chest to below the knee, front and back, contrary to what Imam Muhammad ibn Qatil has mentioned, again speaking about the slave girl. أنه يباح إلا إلى ما جل سرة لا ركبة, that he says it's permissible to see everything except from the navel, below the navel to the knee. Otherwise, he considers that to be the same as a male in respect of what she can or cannot cover. لأنه لا ضرورة في المحارم بل أولى لقلة الشهوة. Why? Because there's no necessity, just like there is in the maharim. Just like in the maharim, there's no necessity. In fact, even more so, لقلة الشهوة because of disinclination, or you can say minimum inclination towards the maharim. وكما لها في الإماء وكمالها في الإماء, and having كمال الشهوة, whereas shahwa, desire for a slave girl, is found to a more greater degree. Okay. ولفظة المملوكة تنتظم المدبرة والمكاتبة والمدبرة والمكاتبة وأم الولد تتحكم الحاجة. And the word mamluka in Mudara is general. It will include the mudabbara slave again. We did before. Is a person that is paying for their freedom, and they have agreed to a certain amount of their master, and they're paying off. No, sorry. Mudabbara is a slave that the master has told, when I die you are free. After I die you are free. And the mukatab is one who is paying off the master for her freedom. The master never agreed to a certain amount, is then allowed to go out and work, and for monthly installments, whatever the agreement is, he pays off for her freedom. For Walad, and the mother, that's like who is the mother of the master's child. It will include these three as well. لتحقق الحاجة, because the need is found in them as well. والمستسعة كالمكاتبة. Mustas'at is that slave girl who has been told to work. Understand? So therefore they're in the same hukam as the mukataba. This is we did this before, I think, where that she works in order to pay off a certain amount. Okay? For example, if she has two masters and one Frida, and Frida is one, she can't have a half free off slave. So in that case, she will be told to work to pay off the amount that is owed by the other master. For instance, Mustasa'a. Even the one Sa'a, which means to make effort. We did it before as well. As a Mustafa. So she has the same hukm as a Mukat, because basically she's doing the same thing. عندما حنيفة على ما عرف, according to Imam Hanifa as is known. وأما الخلوة, now we did yesterday with your own slave girl, you can be in seclusion with a, can travel with your maharim as well. So what about somebody else's slave girl? So they think وأما الخلوة والمسافرة معها فقد قيل يباح كما في المحارم, that as regards to his thing in being with her in seclusion and traveling with her. So one opinion says it is mubah, permissible, just like it's permissible with a muharim. وقد قيل لا يباح, and another opinion says it's not permissible. لعدم الضرورة. Why? Because no necessity there. There's no necessity for you to be traveling with somebody else's slave girl or being in private with her. وفي الإذكار بالإنزال اعتبر محمد في الأصل الضرورة فين. And also we discussed yesterday with regards to the maharim, if she requires assistance to mount an animal or to descend from an animal, then Imam Muhammad rahmatullah, in his asl in the Mabsud, he looks at the zarura, necessity, and fihinna, in regards to in the matter, is there necessity for it or not? وفي ذوات محارم مجرب الحاجة, whereas in the maharim, he looks at need. Yeah, he looks at necessity, but there when the maharim comes, he looks at need. Okay, so if the necessity dictates that you assist, then you may do so, otherwise not. قال ولا بأس بأن يمس ذلك إذا أراد الشراء وإن خاف أن يشتري. And there's no problem with him touching her if he intends to purchase her, even though he may fear shahwa, that his desires be. ذلك would refer to those places that you can look at, right? Those places you can look at. Even if he fears incitement of passions. كذا ذكر في المختصر وكذا ذكر في المختصر. This is what Imam Qudri رحمه الله تعالى has mentioned in his kitab. وأطلق أيضا الجامع الصغير ولم يفصل. In جامع الصغير of Imam Muhammad رحمه الله تعالى, he also has mentioned it in general like this. ولم يفصل, they haven't explained anything, they haven't given any details further. قال مشايخنا رحمه الله تعالى فيباح النذر في هذه الحالة وإن اشتهى للضرورة ولا يباح المس إذا اشتهى أو كان أكبر رأي ذلك. Our Shaykh stated, however, that it will only be permissible to look in this condition, meaning the condition of buying, purchasing, intending to purchase, even if he desires out of necessity. And if there's a necessity to do so, then he may look. Right? But it will not be permissible for him to touch her if he feels he's going to desire, can incite his passions, or or his greater opinion, he feels that he will desire. لأن نوع استمتاع, because this is a type of taking benefit from something which is not yet owned, which you don't yet own, by taking unfair advantage or unfair benefit from something which you don't own as yet. وفي غير حالة الشراء يباح النذر والمس بشرط عدم الشهوة. However, in the condition of non-purchase, meaning you just went to your friend's house or something like that, in that case, it will be permissible for you to look and touch on condition that it does not incite passion. Okay, so that قال وإذا حاضر الأمة لم تعرض في إزار واحد معناه بلغت. So is this is in جامع الصغير الإمام محمد رحمه الله تعالى. Imam Muhammad رحمه الله states نفع الله بعلومه ومن مشايخنا في الدارين وبكم, that if a slave girl has menses, then to arada means to present. Arada actually means to make something apparent, alhara, to make something apparent in order to show somebody something. So I'm translating as present because that's basically that's basically what it means. But the meaning here of present will be to dress. Lan tu'raf fizan shall not be presented, I shall not be dressed in one pants only. In other words, she has to be given a top as well. She should not be shown or to one's guest or anybody in just covering her lower half. But she should be given a top covering as well. معنى الحاضر meaning بلغت. الحاضر means if she is بالغة. If she is بالغة, then she should not be just dressed in one item of clothing, but she should be dressed in two items, a top and a bottom. وهذا لما بينا, and this is because of what we already explained, أن الظهر والبطن منها أورا, because her back and her stomach is an aura. وعن محمد رحمه الله تعالى أن إذا كانت تشتهى وتجامى مثلها فهي كالبالغة. And Imam Muhammad says if she has reached such an age that she can be desired, and someone of her age can be, like you can have intimacy with her, even though she's not baligh yet, she'll be in the hukm of a baligh. He will be like somebody, or she will be like a person who has reached the age of majority. لا تعرف في إزار واحد. Therefore, even such a girl, and although she's not baligh yet, not major, hasn't reached the age of majority yet, even she should not be presented, should not, in other words, not be dressed in a one pants alone, لوجود الاشتهاء, because of the presence of desire or desirability. قال والخسي في النظر إلى الأجنبيات كالفحل. And a khisi, anyone who has been what you call um, he has been, what do you call this, castrated.
Castrated.
Castrated. Uh, it was regards to looking at a strange female. He is like somebody who is healthy, normal. He is like a male that is healthy and normal. And so, otherwise, we don't look at the fact that he is castrated, but rather we look at the hurma of it. This is a male, and you can't look at a female. لقول عائشة رضي الله عنها الخصاء مثلة, because of the statement of Sayyidina Aisha رضي الله عنها, castration is a type of mutilation. فلا يبيح ما كان حراما قبل. So therefore, that which was haram before it, before the castration, will not become halal after it. ولأنه فحل يجامع, and also because he is a normal in the sense that he can have intimacy. So yeah, fahl will probably refer to a person that has been not castrated fully. It probably refers to a person that has, for example, got his in our times he had a step, understand, where he can't impregnate anybody. And he got painful procedure where his tubes have been cut and he's unable to impregnate anybody. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense. Okay. لأنه يجامع كذا وكذا المجبوب, and the same as will apply to a majboob. Majboob is a person whose testicles have been removed. لأنه يسحق, because he can still rub, وينزل and he can still ejaculate. وكذا المخنث في رديء من الأعمال أفعال, and same masala applies to a mukhannath in acts of رديء من الأفعال, in acts of shamelessness or in acts of intimacy. And when it comes to acts of intimacy, the mukhannath will take on the same hukam as a normal person, as a male. Understand? So they're in a difficult position. So yeah, mukhannath, why is mentioning rati min al-af'al is to show that yeah, by mukhannath we don't mean, because normally mukhannath is used for a male who is feminine in his behavior. Understand? Maybe he grew up with a lot of females, so he's a bit feminine in his behavior. So we're not referring to such a person. So we're referring to a khuntha. What do you call a khuntha? Okay.
مفردات.
Yes, hermaphrodite, correct. So when it comes to shameless acts, understand, looking, touching, all those things, then you'll also be in the same hukam as a precaution. لأنه فحل فاسق. Why? Because he is a normal male, fasik, which is capable of committing sin, capable of committing wrong things. والحاصل أن يؤخذ فيه بحكم كتاب الله المنزل فيه. And the gist of this discussion is this, that we will abide by the hukam, by the law mentioned in the Kitabullah, which has been revealed in regards to what you are allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, or look at, and so on and so forth. Was it وَلْيَغْضُضْنَ أَبْصَارَهُنَّ, that ayat in Surah An-Nur. Then so there you get the guidance as to who it is permissible and who is not permissible to look and so forth. وَالطفل الصغير مستثنى بالنص, and a minor has been excluded by that same ayat. That ayat in Surah An-Nur, a minor has been excluded. What's it? والذين what is the ayat called? Just calling it now.
أو الطفل الذي لم
أو الطفل
يظهر
الذي لم يطع أو الطفل الذي لم يظهر على عورات النساء. So they've been excluded, so that's why we exclude them as well. Call. Now here we come into the female. The female looking at her male slave, or the male slave rather looking at his female master. ولا يجوز للمملوك أن ينظر من سيدته إلا إلى ما يجوز للأجنبي النظر إليه منها. It is not permissible for a male slave to look at his female master except to those parts which is permissible for a strange male to look at a strange female. Right? وقال مالك رحمه الله تعالى هو كالمحرم. Imam Malik Ahmad says no, the male slave is like a mahram or the female master. وهو أحد قولي الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى, and this is one of the opinions of Imam Shafi'i as well. لقوله تعالى أو ما ملكت أيمانهن, because in Surah An-Nur it also says or that which your right hand possesses. That which your right hand possesses. ولأن الحاجة متحققة ومتحققة لدخوله عليها من غير استئذان, and also because there is need, and there is a need is established that he comes and goes without seeking permission of his female master. So he comes and goes in and out of the house, in and out of the rooms, without seeking permission. ولنا our dalil is أنه فحل غير محرم. He is a normal healthy male, is not related to her. ولا زوج ولا 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 زوج, and neither is he her husband. والشهوة متحققة, and desire is established. لجواز النكاح في الجملة. Why? Because nikah is permissible in general, meaning there is a scenario where we can imagine him getting married to his master, in the case where she frees him and then gets married to him. That can happen. So this shows that the shahwa is possible between a male slave and the master. والحاجة, and as regards to your argument with regards to haja, so we say al-hajatu qasira, that the need or the necessity, the need, sorry, is deficient. In this case, it's not kamil as a female slave, but yes, qasir, it's deficient. Why? لأنه يعمل خارج البيت, because a male slave normally does work outside of the house, and he sees to all the outside chores. So he won't be coming and going as often as a female slave might into the inner parts of the house. والمراد بالناس, as regarded ayat which you quoted, إلا ما ملكت أيمانهن, al-ima, it refers to slave girls, meaning that which your right hand owners. This is referring to male owners in regards to their female slaves, not female slave owners in regards to the male slaves. How do we know that? قال سعيد وحسن وغيرهما, because Sa'id, most likely Ibn Zubayr, والحسن البصري رحمة الله عليهم, and others as well, such as Samura ibn Jundub and others, لا تغرنكم سورة النور, do not allow Surah An-Nur to fool you, to deceive you. فإنها في الإناث دون الذكور, because this idea is referring to female slaves, not male slaves. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. ويعزل عن أمته بغير إذنها ولا يعزل عن زوجته إلا بإذنها. And he can do azl, coitus interruptus, from his female slave without a permission. but he cannot perform coitus interruptus from his wife without permission. Other means that when the man is about to ejaculate, he doesn't do so, but he pulls out. Okay, the anna alaysa is called coitus interruptus, so she doesn't become pregnant. Anna alaysa lamnaha an al-azli. Why? Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prevented from azal coitus interruptus and al-hurra illa bi from a free woman, except with her permission. Right? Because a free woman, she has a right to that act, and she has a right to have a child, to be a child. So you have to take her permission because it's her haq. وقال لمولى وقال لمولى أمة ينزل عنها إن شئت. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to a master of a slave girl that you may perform coitus interruptus from her if you wish. In شئت, if you wish. ولأن الوطية حق الحرة. And also because intimacy is the right of the free woman قضاء لشهوته in order to fulfill the desires وتحصيلا الولد in order to um, gain a child. ولهذا تخير في الجوب والعنة. And this is for this reason that she's given a choice meaning of nikah in regards to a jub and an inna. A jub is a person who, as I mentioned before, his testicles have been taken away. Inna is a person who is unable to perform, is uh, impotent. So if she wants, if the person becomes like that or is like that, she will be given a choice. You want to stay married to this person or not? Understand? Husband became impotent or something happened to him because of which he had to get cut. Then she will be given a choice. You want to stay in the nikah or not? If she wishes to leave the nikah, she will be allowed to do so. ولا حق للأمة, whereas there is no right for the amma في الوطي with regards to intimacy. فلهذا لا ينكس حق حرة. It is why the husband cannot diminish, remove the right of his free wife without his permission, without her permission. Sorry. ويستبد به المولى, whereas the master has an independent choice in regards to al-bi'i bil-azli. He can independently choose whether he wishes to perform azal or not. ولو كانت تحتها أمة غيره فقد ذكرناها في النكاح. And if somebody else's slave girl is in his position, oh sorry, if he is married to a slave girl that whose master is someone else, right? So he's married to a slave girl, and she has a master. So in that case, there, what is the masala? فقد ذكرنا في النكاح. We've already mentioned in this nikah. Nikah what? The two opinions. Some ulama say the choice is up to the master to give permission or not to the husband to impregnate his slave, and some of it is up to the husband. Then Allah Ta'ala Alam. Understood that?
Yeah.
Any questions? Anything you didn't understand?
I'm understood, Ulama.
Okay, so that completes this section. Now we're going to another fasal, which is istibara. So now hopefully we can start that tomorrow. بإذن
Inshallah.
تعالى. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
Alaikum. Salam wa rahmatullah.